Good evening and happy Friday evening to you. Welcome to What Church Edition series. I thank everybody who took the time to watch my video and also comment and give me your opinion of what's going on in the church. I'm going to read some of those, one or two. I don't want to take too much of your time. And I also want to get more feedback if at all possible. They're always going to be anonymous. I'm not going to say anyone's name because I want to leave that where it is. So the first one that I received was, I stopped going at 17 due to the people, the hatred, being removed from events and programs. The people I seen judging me, but then when I would see them in the streets, doing things that judging others the way that they were hypocritical. However, I know my God is real and bigger than that. So that in itself just lets you know so many young people, no matter your age, it doesn't really matter what that is, what your age frame is. It's the things that have happened to you while you were in the church. And a lot of these people who are giving suggestions may have been in the church all their life, grew up in the church, or at one point in time, when they got older, they decided, you know what, I'm going to, make it my business to go to church and have a better relationship with Christ. Now, don't get me wrong. All the people in the church, they're not great people. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they are. I'm not going to pretend like I'm the perfect person because I'm far from it. But at the end of the day, we need real people with real issues who are willing to sit down and say, how can we fix this issue with the generation of people who are just trying to see what it is that the church has to offer. And, and it's hard to even get people to even come into the church when they see what you're doing. You're pointing the finger at them. You're saying that you can't do this. But at the same token, when you go out in the street, when you're a teenager, when you're of age and you see them doing the same thing that they were being hypocritical about, that doesn't sit well with you as a person. So why should it sit well with anybody else? And still the question still remains, why aren't my generation or the generation that's behind me willing to come to church? It still remains the same. And I'm still going to continue to search for the answer. I'm still going to ask people to provide me with their suggestions. And one person even said, that the church has become a business. Church was supposed to be about fellowship. Now it's turned into a business. So why are we turning church into a business? To get more people in the seats, to be able to fill the offering plates, to make sure that the church is taken care of. Some churches, not all churches, depend on the money of those of their congregation. They solely depend on what God has provided for them, and the mission that they have, it's already been handled. So the things that you bring into the storehouse is to build the kingdom of God. But sometimes we have a lot of mega churches and a lot of other churches who do not see that, and they just want to continue to say, I'll pray for you, or if you are in need, are you a member? Are you on our tithings roll? When I last checked, Jesus didn't have a tithings roll, and he just decided to say, come who may. And if you were in need, then, all your needs will be supplied. I get that. I'm misquoting, and that's okay. Because guess what? I'm not the perfect one. I'm never the perfect one. I've never been the perfect one. But at the end of the day, I want people to know that some of us really do care. We care about those who are trying to make their way and trying to find their way and continue to search for whatever it is that they're looking for. But at the end of the day, my goal is just to figure out how we can get you, and yes, I'm saying you, those who even gave their suggestions, those who are maybe thinking about giving a suggestion, how can we get you back into the church? So stay tuned for another episode of What Church. I will continue to answer questions. I do have a few, but I'm not going to take too much of your time. But I do, again, thank those who have taken the time out of their day to send me a personal message to let me know what the reason behind why they stopped going to church. But at the end of the day, they still believe in God. And that's the ultimate goal, that you still believe. Some may not believe, and that's okay. That's your personal choice. But I believe in, and I believe for those who are walking this life and trying to figure their way and sort through the weeds of this life, that they will find everything that they're looking for. But I'm going to continue searching, and I'm going to continue to do the research to see how we can get more young people, youth, young adults back into the church. Until next time, have a good evening.